Today in the studio, folks, got a real treat for you. Mr. Mike Zeller. What's cracking, Mike?
What's up, Brad? Excited to be here, my man.
Dude, appreciate you coming all the way to V-Town just to throw down some bombs here in the studio.
I'm excited, bro.
Guys, if you don't know who the dude is, look him up at the Mike Zeller, just like it sounds, Zeller on social media, at the Mike Zeller. His website's mikezeller.com. Basically, you're a business mentor, entrepreneur, your damn self, kind of a business architect, and you help people kind of find their zone of genius.
That's right.
And where'd that begin for you?
Man, really, I'd say it began in college. My fraternity brothers nicknamed me Socrates, as in Socrates. We got to be standing around having long, deep conversations about the meaning of life and purpose. And then through some business successes and failures, I realized, hey, there's certain things that I'm really amazing at and other things that I suck at. And I started figuring out clues. I'm like, how could I figure out the clues so I could give a roadmap on how to design a business, design a brand, design a life, really, where I can be in my lane, where I'm fulfilled, I'm creating an impact, and I'm flourishing and building prosperity.
And then that was successful, obviously, for you.
It was partly the catalyst of being unsuccessful or partially successful and hitting the highs of success and then some of the lows of success that you learn just as much or more from the failures. So I had those moments like, we talked about earlier where you had some businesses that didn't work out and I had some businesses that did work out. And I was like, all right, why did that work? And then that didn't work. And so you start putting the pieces together, and now mentoring hundreds of entrepreneurs, I'm seeing, all right, there's pieces here, there's pieces there. How can I gather the clues? So from personality tests, your life experiences, your values, your passions, and even your relationships, where are all the clues? And then if I gather enough clues, can the patterns start popping like popcorn?
What's that event? I mean, how me and him met, folks. He called me to be on an event, speak at an event, local studio here, so convenient also.
Yeah.
And then we started shooting the shit, and I'm like, dude, maybe I need you to come coach me a little bit on this finding my genius. And so what's that event?
It's called the Genius Challenge, and we are having it later this year. We're pivoting the dates slightly, so we are bringing it up. Again, I'm partnering with Amelia Antonetti. She's one of the top behaviorists in the world, work with Steve Harvey, Mike Tyson, even Oprah Winfrey. So we're launching that here later this summer.
Well, if you were to be a entrepreneur right now that's like, let's say you're doing pretty well, but you're not, for some reason, kicking that ass like you thought you could.
Yeah.
Where would someone start to find their zone of genius, make sure they're actually doing it right?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I see over and over and over is people, like we were talking today, like you've hit certain levels of success, like you are kicking ass on certain things, but then you're hitting an invisible ceiling. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, we hit a ceiling of our own energy, our own capacity, and sometimes it's like we are, as a business grows also, the pressure to be more of a CEO than to be the driver of the business and to do what you love and what actually helped the brand to get to where you are. Now, you can't just keep doing some of those things and let like the administrative duties of a business flounder because you got to execute. But like lots of times people hit a ceiling and they hit a ceiling of limitation. And sometimes we got to step back. Like I noticed in your office, you got all these Einstein photos and paintings and stuff. Well, as I mentioned earlier.
And did you notice the hand signed?
Yeah, I did. How'd you get that? That's pretty badass.
Bought it.
Well, Einstein, do you know how he solved the theory of relativity?
How?
So he observed himself riding a light wave going 180,000 miles per second. He observed himself watching himself on that light wave. So he was from 3 different perspectives. And that's how he created the theory of relativity. And he was always doing these imagination and thought experiments. So what I end up doing with a lot of entrepreneurs and for myself as well is like, all right, what's the perspective that's going to help me get to where I want to go? And I got to step away from being the hamster on the hamster wheel and just churning and burning and running hard to get a new perspective so I can create that breakthrough. And that's part of what I do. If I pull people out of the operations and the machinations of their business to see, hey, you're absolutely amazing at this. This is what you need to do more of, but your business is not letting you do that right now.
So rather than hiring you, what can someone do? Like, let's walk someone through, like, listen, they're, like I said, 7-figure entrepreneur. They're doing well, but they broke a ceiling. Maybe they're miring in not their genius, but they're stuck there. That's why they're stuck, dude. That's why they need you.
Yeah.
But let's just say you weren't going to do it anymore, and you're just going to tell them how to do it themselves, for themselves.
Yeah.
What would be step one?
Step one, I love doing those assessments, as you know, like I made you take the wealth dynamics that shows you your natural pathway to build wealth. For you, you're a star. I'm a creator. Other people, there's 8 different profiles total. Wealth dynamic.
What's the best one?
That's my favorite.
No, I mean, what's the best one? Star?
Star is, of course, the best.
Yeah. Yee, I knew it. See?
I mean, how could you not? Like, you guys are so fun and entertaining.
Yeah, but how do you know you're not a star? Did your score say you're not a star?
I'm not a star.
You're a creator.
I'm a star secondary, so I can tap into it, but I'm not. It's
Doesn't
harder.
Doesn't that bother you?
I like being a creator. I like creating things.
Doesn't everybody want to be stars?
Not,
stars think that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because I'd question like introverts and be like, dude, why wouldn't you want to be the son of a bitch up there getting all the accolade?
Yeah, I mean, I used to even when I was in high school, I wanted to be a pro baseball player. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be a pro baseball player, I'm going to have a Toyota Camry and an apartment and pretend I'm a teacher if I go out with girls, so that like I know they love me for me, not because I'm a star. That was like, just part of my mentality of like, I'm fine in the limelight, but honestly, I had to grow into being comfortable with that. Like, you're comfortable.
Yeah, if you were truly a star, dude, they'd know you weren't a teacher.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, dude, like if you saw David Beckham,
yeah,
as a teacher, know David Beckham, he's a star. So you'd be like, that ain't a teacher.
Yeah, true.
Will Ferrell, anybody that's a star, you're aware of them.
Well, but I think in my 13-year-old self, that was like, they didn't have social media back then. So it was less likely that you would be known. Like today, everybody's known.
Okay. So these guys, they should take a test.
Yeah.
First one being,
I love the wealth dynamics. Yeah.
Wealth dynamics. Can you Google that?
Yeah. You can find it on wealthdynamics.com. I think it is. And then you do that one, the strengths finder, because it pulls out all your strengths. It's from Gallup, and then the Myers-Briggs, Colby Index, DISC profile, Enneagram if you want as well. But the more clues you gather, the more the evidence will pop. And if you look at Jim Collins, Good to Great, all his books, what's he doing? He gathers all the data from all these companies that went from good to great, and then the patterns emerge. The goal is for, hey, what's the pattern? Where's Bradley a genius? And we, as I read through your profile and read your book, it's like, you're one of the best promoters in the world. If you have a brand and a business you believe in, the only thing that will hold it back is the back end. You could promote something to $10 billion if you wanted. Like, there's nothing that could stop you if you have the right back end piece.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only thing that would stop me would be me, because I will not offer anything I cannot deliver.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people don't know this, but you could ruin your business the same damn way.
Yep.
Because people come through here, consultants that are getting a VT for themselves.
Yeah.
And so all of them naturally want to help me. Hey, so tell me a little bit. And I'm saying, well, we don't really market much. They're like, why not? Well, believe it or not, it sounds stupid, but I'm still developing the processes. And I want to make sure that they're strong, so I don't bring on 20 customers and lose 24.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you have to have some systems and processes in place that can deliver what you're talking about. Even more so, if you ask me, deliver what you're talking about at minimum. And that's kind of like my frustration, is the execution on all the visions one has.
Yep.
So how do you find executors?
Executors are there. You gotta, it's a challenge for pretty much every entrepreneur with big vision. The visionary needs executors, and you can't have enough of them. It's like Dan Sullivan at Strategic Coaching talks about how you got to hire every single person that is brilliant at executing. He'll hire every single one he comes across as much as possible. So part of it is designing the roles and designing the job ads and designing an attraction mechanism. For example, you've got, how to close deals, right? You have an attract, convert, execute type process, right? With light speed. So what's that process? Almost thinking of your sales process. How do I attract executors, convert them, and then get them indoctrinated into my culture? So I think it starts with a job description, and you write a job description differently for different profiles because they're different people, and they'll resonate differently with for example, someone that wants to execute. If you have the vision really infused in the job description, we didn't get a chance to look at my job descriptions today, but if you really have that infused, guess what? An executor, like, what do they want to get around? They want to get around great visions because they want their life to matter. Every human being wants their life to matter and do meaningful work. So how can you attract your ideal executors with the great vision? You've got great vision. That's not your problem.
It's usually money, isn't it?
Yeah. No. Especially in the younger generation, like millennials, they want to do work that matters. The Great Resignation was not about money. 12.9 million Americans quit between August and October of last year. It wasn't about money. Money was a part of it, but it wasn't the sole thing. It wasn't even the primary.
What did they quit for? Because the government was giving away free dough?
No, it's like people were stressed. It was over like mental health, wanted better life quality. They realized, hey, I can work virtually. You want me to come back in the office now? I'm out. And then in certain businesses, like 70% of the staff quit or whatever. And so now the company wasn't respecting people's bandwidth and just stacking more things on people. So what oftentimes it wasn't about the money.
Interesting.
Now you gotta, the thing that you want to have is money needs to be a relevant enough thing that money is basically off the table as a conversation.
See, I guess I'm old school.
Yeah.
See, I always think like, I wouldn't say, hey, Mike, you want to come to work here? We really are strategic thinkers. And, I've got such big vision for this place. It's unbelievable. We really want to impact the world. Would you like to come over for $60,000 a year?
Yeah. No. But that's because you and I.
No, that's because the top level dudes, they're not working for $60,000 a year. You'd be lucky if you could get them to work for you. And on top of that, if you did, you're gonna have to step up with some pretty decent compensation.
So that's what I'm saying. Money has to be relevant enough.
But like if I said, dude, I'll give you $1 million a year, dude, I'll close you on that. Maybe 2 million. Why? Well, maybe 3 million, maybe 5 million. I'll get you at some point. So I always thought money is what matters because, dude, I'll just bribe your ass. Well, like if I told you right now, Mike, I'll give you $1 million signing bonus. I'll give you $500,000 a month for 6 months. And I just want a 6-month engagement. You'd fucking quit. You'd move your ass here, wouldn't you?
Probably so.
So again, money matters.
Money matters. That's not what I'm saying. I said it's one of the factors. It's not necessarily in many cases the main factor because they're comparing, hey, if I could get the same job for $300,000 and this job for $300,000 or this job for $325,000, I don't really care.
Where was I when I'm a kid? There was no $300,000 jobs.
Me neither. I looked at engineering jobs for like $40,000 or $60,000 back in the day.
Yeah, like to me, if you made 60, 70, 80 G's, you'd do them pretty good. Mm-hmm. But nowadays, 60, 70, 80 G's will keep you broke. It's not enough to get out of the rat race. No. You need at least a couple 100,000.
Yep.
And a lot of people will be listening to this going, dude, that's a lot. You're jaded. Dude, it's not a lot. And I'm not jaded. I'm your everyday average Joe. Now, again, mentally. I don't think to myself, I'm some big fancy ass, multimillionaire, can do anything I want guy. I don't think like that. Although I am.
Yeah.
And I know that I am. I just don't think like that, and I don't act like that. Like, I still feel like, dude, I got a long way to go. I'm broke just like everybody else. I'm just broke at another level. I'm broke without stress.
Mm-hmm.
But I also can't be offering you $4 million collectively to come work for me for 6 months. Why? Because I just know that if I do that, my problems are solved. And I'll make, $40 million. For me to hire someone for $4 million, dude, shit.
Yeah, they gotta kick ass.
Hey, they better be bringing me at least 6.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'll give you 4 if you can bring me 6.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, or 10x what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So because mostly individuals reach out to you, no?
Yeah, and I work with other companies too. Like, I've got a couple of different Silicon Valley companies. I'm working with the CEOs and the founders for different things, but then a lot of coaches. I've worked with a lot of coaches.
But you help individuals mainly get through their, you're almost like a counselor.
A little bit of a counselor. I help people get through their unconscious belief barriers, but I've I lead mastermind experiences for thought leaders, authors, speakers, coaches, e-com. I have a mastermind for high level e-com guys, and this is just part of what I do, right?
What are your goals?
I'm launching a mobile biohacking venture with a few different partners where I've been at work designing the business. And so I want to build that to be at least $100 million company. I feel like the vision and the opportunities are there for that.
Why do you want to do that?
Because I want to live as abundant and wealthy of a life as I know I'm capable of. I want to help 1 million people have clean drinking water. I want to.
What's most important?
Man, in talent, like
living a highfalutin lifestyle.
I'd say it's the challenge and the quest of self-actualization, like knowing I can do this. And like for you, we're talking like, hey, you want to build your companies to $1 billion valuation. It's because you can do it, but you got to figure out how, and summoning that next challenge.
Well, not only that, but I think $1 billion is the new $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Like $1 million when I was growing up, dude.
Yeah,
a millionaire.
Million's not much now.
Yeah, but when I was growing up, dude, a millionaire meant, dude, wow, it's a millionaire. It's the same thing, but now it's a billionaire. Yeah. And I might even say 100 millionaire. What's that called? Decamillionaire? No, that's 10. Hectamillionaire?
Probably a hecta, I think. Yeah.
So a hectamillionaire is the new millionaire. But at the end of the day, I mean, $10 million, if that's all you have and you don't know how to invest it, you could literally blow through that quite rapidly.
Oh yeah.
You go get a nice house, couple of nice cars, party, all your friends and family you're going to help out, because once you come into some money, they all come out of the woodwork. And next thing you know, you don't have $10 million, but guess what you do have?
Yeah.
Property taxes,
maintenance,
staff bills,
yep.
Right? Maintenance, expenses. And now you're going, well, holy shit. And you start getting rid of it all to afford it all.
Yeah.
When you have to get rid of everything you have to afford the things you have, you didn't do it right. And I've caught myself heading down that road a bunch. Thank God I, hang around subject matter experts, and I'm a phone call away. And I started to realize, like, dude, I'm a dumbass. I haven't been investing anything. Yeah. So I'm on catch up. But when I heard what you're doing, I'm thinking, man, I need to find my zone of genius. What value does someone get by finding their zone of genius? Did you make that up? Zone of genius?
I think it's been around a little bit, but people have used it a little differently. For me, like, I realized I was mentoring some really smart people, and people at different stages in their entrepreneurial career in my masterminds or coaching programs. And I was like, hey, I can't give someone the same exact advice that I gave. I can't give Aaron the same advice I gave Michael, or I can't give Evan. He's wired differently, different life experiences, different motives, because your life experiences dictate your motives, your wounds, your stories. And what I found is, like, if you look, the best people in the world, look at the Richard Bransons, the Elon Musk, or the Steve Jobs, or Oprah Winfrey's, people who accomplish extraordinary results over and over and over, they are in extraordinarily right positions. So can I reverse engineer? What is an extraordinarily right position? How do I figure that out? Are there clues? Tony Robbins says success leaves clues. What are the clues? You said it in your book, I think, as well. And if you look, there's clues scattered about our lives, but most of us, it's like we got blinders on. We're walking past our clues every day. And I think there's evidence and I think there's even divine guidance for all of us. If you start attuning yourself to the clues that are around you, then even like we did, our bodies give us clues. We were talking about, do you want to, what was it we were talking about earlier where, hey, you want to go and promote and you want to do podcasts and you want to create content, but you don't want to go to this meeting and that meeting and this meeting and that thing. It's exhausting for you, right?
Drain.
Right? You want to smoke a cigar. You want to be on the golf course. You want to create content, doing podcasts for 3 or 4 hours. That's joy for you. For someone else, it might be death. Some people would dread doing a podcast for 3 or 4 hours a day and talking.
Dude, that'd be a dream if I just had 3 podcasts a day. All I had to do is come in, do my thing, and walk out.
Boom. See, that's in your genius. Or your body doesn't lie. And I think if you look at every single organization that has ever done really well, every single leader, they put themselves in extraordinary right positions. And I look at another guy, D. Hawk, founder of Visa. I talked to him in 2020 and asked him because I'd heard about some of the stuff he'd written, and he wrote about leadership. He found that the very best leaders in the world did one thing that ordinary leaders did not do. And that was that they they spent more than 50% of their leadership energy on leading themselves. So if I can master this self-leadership of putting myself in the right position, mastering my emotions, mastering where the heck am I going? Who the hell am I? What on earth am I meant to do? And do that more and more and more and do less and less and less of the stuff that brings me death. Guess what? Man, also emotionally, like if I said, Brad, hey, you know what? All you got to do this week and for the next year of your life is promote, and do podcasts and connect and have fun. Dude, you're going to kick ass. You'll be excited about your work every single day. But if I said, hey, dude, you got to lead all these meetings. You got to mentor people, develop processes for the next couple of years, and then you'll get what you want. You'll be like, F that.
No, I'd do it because I believe you got to get shit done regardless. However, I wouldn't be happy about it.
No.
Now, again, there's a lot of people out there trying to make their way, and that is their problem. They want what they want, but they're not willing to do what it takes to get it. And sometimes you got to do the shit you don't want to do to get the shit you do want to do, or to get in a position to.
Yeah.
Because like right now, I am in the position where I kind of am trying to. It's hard to find everybody that you need.
Yeah.
Building that team's difficult. Mm-hmm. But once you have that team in place, shit. Like I just gave over Lightspeed to 3 people. It's almost a relief. Well, prior to doing it, I would have thought, are you nuts? Yeah. Never, ever would I. I'm the boss. I grew one day and I realized I don't need to be the boss. Mm-hmm. Like I can just be the owner.
That's right.
I can just be the benefactor.
Perspective. You're like Einstein from a new perspective.
Yeah, and now I'm thinking like, how can I get rid of all my responsibilities, or just, delegate them.
Yep.
But that's where we go back to what we talked about today.
Yeah.
Where do you find these executors? Because if I had a lot of people willing to execute my vision, meaning I could explain it once they get it, and I can't explain it forever. So like people got to be able to get shit quick. Yeah. But if someone rose their hand, they said, dude, I'm a smart son of a bitch. I already like you. If you can explain to me where you want to go, I can devise the plans and find the people and the training programs and the processes and the systems and the freaking resources necessary to execute your vision. All you got to do is preach it, walk out, and come back and inspect it. And I'd hire every single one of those people.
Heck yeah. And they're there. And
I don't think they're there though. That's where me and you disagree. You know where I think they are?
Where are they
kicking their own ass. They're out there doing their own thing. They don't need me. They don't want me. They're fucking free themselves. They're looking for the same people.
Well, because you're thinking you need to hire another you.
No. I need to hire the opposite of me.
Yeah, but
I know that.
But the
people that are opposite of me, dude, they're already somewhere.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is in the description of the mentality, skill set wise, they are there. In the mentality also, those people have a different mentality. You have a different, and you and I as entrepreneurs, like, we've both had a bunch of different businesses, and from a different mindset, we want to be out creating. We could not ever, like, we were talking about your story where you were in the Marines for like 10 weeks. Man, if you chose that path, yes, you would have had discipline even more, but like, you're not made to have someone tell you what to do and to guide you. Like, other people want someone to take the risk, and they are there. You just gotta, as long as you don't believe they're there and you don't work, like, you'll find them. That's part of my quest with you is I'm going to help you find those people. And then I want to be a great case study of like, hey, Mike, damn it. Wow. Like, you've helped me find those executors and build the team that leverages my genius, and I leverage their genius, because people are looking for some other brilliant executors are looking for people like you as well.
Well, come find me, folks. I'm right here. Visionary of all visionaries. Grandiose illusions of grandeur. But, I know a few friends of mine, like, they want something done. They pick up the phone. They're calling somebody.
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba. Click. And then I happen to be a benefactor of that phone call. And whoever dialed this in, like, I heard what was said and I saw what happened, and they took what was said, executed on it fantastically, and added more to it. Meaning they took what this person said and improved it.
Yep.
So like, I'm thinking, who's this person? But every time number one, I'm not going to steal your person. So if like I met your magic person, I call them magic people. Mm-hmm. Like, the reason I say that is like, my house is magic. You ever heard that? Mm-hmm. Like, I have a floor in my bedroom that if I throw anything on it, it disappears and goes back where it came from.
How do you have this floor? What is this?
It's just
floor?
A magic floor, and I got magic clothes hampers. Like, if I can throw the clothes on the floor, they'll end up in the hampers and end up back on my shelf, folded and brand new again. Sometimes in the same day. Man. Like, if I throw some jeans on the floor at night, wake up, forget to pick them up, go to work, come back, those jeans are washed, folded, and in the damn cupboard, or not cupboard, shelf.
Yeah, you don't want them in the cupboard. Your underwear in the cupboard. Yeah. Mom, Dad's got his underwear in the cupboard again.
You don't want them in the cupboard. What do you call clothing shelves? Cabinets?
What are
not drawers?
Yeah, not drawers.
Shelves.
There's another armoires. There's armoires and stuff, and there's
but you know what I mean.
I know. No, I can't remember.
That's what I meant by cupboard. In the shelves. In the
yeah.
But I call that magic. I need something like that for work, bro. Mm-hmm. We all do. There's people listening right now going, dude, if I could find that person, I'd pay him anything. And that's the beautiful thing, because if you can find those people, you can afford to pay them anything. Mm-hmm. Because if you can get everything that's in your head done, shit, dude.
Watch out.
Like right now, I could put on an event. You saw my place downstairs. It fits 100. I say, okay, let's charge $1,000. 100 people downstairs, $1,000. I'll spend one day, maybe 2 days with them, and teach them whatever it is we need to do. Okay, now in my mind, that's a quick 100,000 for a Friday or a Saturday. Mm-hmm. Quick 100 G's. That's not bad, right?
No, that's great.
Okay, go do it. And then people are like, well, what do you want to teach on? Well, what about this? What about that? What about this? And pretty soon it's like, well, shit, dude, if I have to tell you what to do, you're not an executor. You're a laborer. See the difference? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you need people that are smart and nimble and can take what you want done and execute it and enhance it, make it much better.
Yeah, like after I got done saying what I just said, I should be able to walk out, come back, and have someone say, Brad, okay, it's called yada, 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 and it's on this day. And what's cool is we've got 4 people coming in, and if you can make the call to this guy, this girl, and that girl, dude, we can upsell them this, that, and the other thing. And I'm telling you, we could probably do, matter of fact, here's the spreadsheet, and here's the likelihood, and here's the research, and here's the data, and all I'm like, dude, this is freaking awesome. Let's do it. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, we pull it off, and we outperform.
Yeah.
That person. Who is that person?
They can have many different faces, but I think I know their profiles of how they'll score on StrengthsFinder. I know as a complement how they'll likely score on certain roles. It's really multiple roles in that scenario.
Or like, in other words, I know, hey, I'm not a copywriter, but I know that's what that is. That's called copy. So I better, I can go to Upwork and VA, but that's the executor. Like, in other words, get shit done. You don't have to do it all yourself.
No, correct.
Like, if you just gave me $100,000 to get a job done, dude, I'm pretty sure you just want the job done. Yeah. It's not that I must do it.
Exactly.
You want it done right, and you trust me. So you give me the $100,000. You say, here's what I'm looking for. Now I'll do the job. Now I might take $100,000 and divvy it up between 9 people.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get the job done. Why? Because I think deep down, dude, I am an executor.
You want to get it through. You call people to action. That's one of your biggest strengths, right? Like knowing.
But those tests said I wasn't an executor.
Well,
I think I am one. I just don't want to be one. Why?
Yeah.
Well, because I'm paying someone to do it. They should do it, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm not in my genius. No. I can do it though.
Oh yeah, we all can, and you wouldn't be where you're at. I wouldn't be where I'm at without knowing how to drive certain things forward and make sure that we get them all the way freaking done, right? But I think there's for you, someone that naturally will just like you've got good people on your team. It's just knowing who else is missing and who else you need to plug right in, and then you're a $500 million, $1 billion company pretty quick.
What do you think those roles and positions are?
I think you need someone to really drive sales, and because if you can't really delegate that off, now you still will, just how you're wired, you're still going to bring in a lot of great sales, but you could free up your time and your bandwidth to close even much bigger deals. I think I don't know who you have on your COO type role. But also making sure that you have project managers that are super strong at customer development, customer retention. But also they're going to score really high on the StrengthsFinder, probably on the execution side, and that piece is what's needed for you on the next level where you get to the $1 billion, or even I think $10 billion is possible for you. $10 billion if you have someone that is as good as you around you at leading, developing, building the brand, as good as you are at closing and promoting. Imagine you have that sort of Tim Cook role and that Joni Ive role. Apple at its peak had Tim Cook, Steve Jobs, Joni Ive. They're all brilliant at their respective roles. I think you've got some great people on your team, probably missing a player or two to get you to where you need to go. Probably more than a player or two, but you've got that capacity.
Well, I appreciate that. You know what I appreciate more?
Finding them.
Yeah. Telling me where that role is and who it is.
I mean, one of my nicknames is Magic Mike, but I can't create magic that fast. And, we're going to help you find them for sure.
I'm going to drop something on social media right now using you to find them.
All right. Do it. I like it.
Now, out of the tests, you are like sold on these tests.
Mm-hmm.
Which I heard you already say it, but for the listeners, which test, if you had one test that you had to give people, would it be?
For the entrepreneur, it'd be the wealth dynamics. For the team member, it would be the strengths finder. For the salesperson, for someone I want for a sales role, it would be the DISC profile.
So if you're wanting to profile and assess your salespeople, use DISC, and you're looking for high D, high I.
Yeah, and you would want the paid version, and it would be 80 plus on both the D and the I score. Every single all-star salesperson I've ever interviewed or ever connected with, high DI. Often 99 or 90 out of 90, or 90 and 90, and then...
that's what I am.
90?
Well, I'm a high D, I, but I'm more D than I.
Yeah. Yeah.
All I could see was that I had a big D.
Yeah, there you go. Big D McGee.
It was extremely high on the D and pretty damn high on the I.
It just popped right up on the big D, right? The D keeps popping up.
No kidding aside, dude. I was high D and high I, but higher D than I.
Yeah.
So I was D I.
Yeah.
Not ID.
Yeah.
Now, you're saying everybody that's kick-ass in sales is also that.
Yep.
So if somebody's listening to this, they go get an assessment of their sales team and they see someone that's not DI. Are they smart just to get rid of them, rip off the Band-Aid?
No, I've had salespeople that were really good that were typically at least a D and at least a 60 and above on the D and I. Below that, they're not really going to like sales. They won't even want to do it.
And should you clip those people?
You move them. So they're often going to be the guys, the men and women that want to do project management. They're going to be higher in the S&C. They want to do project management. They want to manage stuff. They want to be executive assistants. They want to be COOs. They don't want to be out front trying to sell and persuade. They want to complete things and check the boxes. Like my EA loves the checklist. She loves creating Excel spreadsheets. She loves all these things. She would hate sales.
See, now where did you find her?
Craigslist.
An Excel spreadsheet. Wouldn't it be great if I had someone here that could just make Excel spreadsheets for me all day?
Yeah, I mean, Erin loves doing them. She blows me away with how detailed and thoughtful.
She knows how.
Oh yeah. And she can do my social media stuff. She does everything.
After this, we'll go see my assistant, and I'll say, Maria, can you make me a spreadsheet? She's gonna go, what?
Eyes cross.
Well, the right tool for the right job is a massive advantage that I've learned growing up.
Yeah.
Like I always say, you don't want to build a birdhouse with a butter knife.
Nope.
If you're walking by somebody, they're building a birdhouse with a butter knife. Let's say it comes out beautiful. Could it have been better and faster had they used the proper tools? You got to get the right tools for the right job. What's the job is the question.
Yeah.
That's why it varies. That's why, when you started talking to me on the phone, I was interested in learning more about what you did, because I can do a bunch of things, but what should I be doing?
Yeah.
And it's almost like I want someone to tell me. I already know, but I'm looking for confirmation.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, Brad, after all these tests and studies and my years of experience, I think you should just, focus on promoting the businesses that you're involved with. Just create content, just like blow up your celebrity. And I'd be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's literally what the blueprint laid out for you is like, this is like, one of my favorite stories. I don't know if you've told the listeners lately, but like when you were 7 years old and you're selling chocolate bars, you walk up to this door and you just got turned down from another door, right? And then you were selling like one at a time.
Yeah, it was onesie twosie here and there.
Yeah. And then what clicked in your mind that one day?
Well, I have said it, but there's been 500 episodes. I'm sure you'd have to be a lifelong listener to be sure that you've heard it. But what he's talking about is, at 6 or 7, I can't remember how old I was. They sent us home to sell world's finest chocolates. And my parents weren't going to buy any because we didn't have any money. We were just blue collar. And I knew that, I might get 1 or 2 from them, but that's it. My brothers ate, 6 or 7 without paying. So I'm in debt. So anyway, I just went door to door and started knocking on doors. And very quickly I realized I need some sort of spiel. I need some sort of saying. So I knocked on the door. Somebody answers it. I put the box behind my back and I said, do you have the phone number to a good roof repairman? They'd say, no, why? And I'd say, because when you taste one of these, you're going to go through the roof. And just because it was a little kid, they just start laughing. And next thing you know, I was selling box after box after box. There was no more onesie twosie. They were like, just give me the whole box. How many you got left? How much are they? How many you got left? It was boom, boom, boom. And that's when I realized, number one, sense of humor is critical in sales. I think people, they like to buy from people that make them laugh and have fun. But I don't necessarily know at what point, I said, I need a spiel, but there was some point in there where it's like, dude, this is going to go on forever. I need to figure out something to say that's freaking catching.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. World's finest chocolate. And they were, by the way,
The world's finest chocolate.
Oh yeah, dude. Back then they were delicious. I just saw some the other day. I'm like, they still have that shit going on.
Yeah, I think Lindt has it beat, but I mean the Swiss have made some pretty great chocolate. But I'm with you. It was I remember buying some and selling some of those too, and they were pretty freaking great. They beat the Hershey's chocolate bars all day long.
So, dude, what made you want to do all this? I mean, you said you were wondering about yourself, so you probably took the test yourself, studied about what it all means.
Yeah, and I just noticed, like, man, what are those age-old questions that we have as human beings? For a woman, they're usually asking, "Hey, am I loved?" That's the first core question. For a man, it's like, "Hey, what on earth am I here for? What's my purpose?" Typically, and it's just my own curiosity. Like, if I look at my personality test, I'm INTP, greatest problem solver in the world. So, like, I get excited about problems and challenges and complex new things that I haven't figured out yet. And then I like creating things, and I can also package, productize. I wanted to create the world's most complete process. And right now, I don't think anyone's created a more complete process around finding your genius. When you go through the whole process, you literally have more data, more clues than you've ever had about your life, your purpose, your future, your past, the stories, the strengths, your weaknesses, your relationships than you've ever had. And now with that data, doesn't mean it all pops. Like, sometimes it's like, boom, it's a snap and everything clicks. Other times something clicks and then boom, another, something really clicks a month or a couple months later or a year later. And I've seen the ripple effect. Even in my marriage, like my wife, if I didn't have her do all these tests when we were like 3 months in, we would not be married, because she's like complete opposite of me. But we're actually a great complement, but we have to.
Did you test her?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we did all the tests.
I should do my wife.
Yeah, you should.
I can already tell she's opposite.
Yeah. And then what happens is, now those things that were frustrations in our relationship, now we've flipped them from frustrations to appreciations, and we flirt. They become flirtations. Frustration to flirtation is, I've seen it happen over and over with everyone that I've worked with, that you go through it. And now you're like, okay, this just gives me confidence and certainty. I already knew these things. Lots of times we already know these things, but now it becomes that much more precise and clear. And I can make decisions, more informed, smarter decisions around building my brand or business or whatever it is.
And that's what it boils down to, dude. You show me a guy who makes good decisions, I'll show you a guy with a quality life.
That's right.
So what's the book there? The Genius Within. Yeah,
Genius Within, that's my book. You can get it on geniuswithinbook.com for free, also on Amazon, but it's the complete process. And I also cover the 80-20 principle, rapid procrastination elimination formula, genius blockers, how to overcome some of those, life and death, power.
People can get that free?
Yeah, people can get it for free. How about that?
Going where?
Geniuswithinbook.com. Just pay shipping and handling, of course.
What, $29 shipping and handling?
Yeah, it's very expensive shipping and handling here in America these
Outside
days.
of America, it is.
It is. So yeah, overseas.
Dude,
yeah.
I did my book pre-sale, and I said, whatever the book was, I think it's $24, and then $4.95 shipping and handling, and I did it on my website. So I just took, I'm thinking $5, dude. You can ship a book for $5, can't you? No, you can't. And especially not outside the United States. So I'm like, dude, I put it on Amazon. People are like, dude, how do I get one? You go to Amazon, dude. Whatever they charge you for shipping and handling, whatever, they can ship it cheaper than me. So just go to Amazon. Can I get that on Amazon?
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. Yeah.
Do you prefer to ship them out yourself?
I like to, because, they can it gives me a chance to connect with them afterwards. So I like selling them from my own site, but obviously there's BookFunnel and all that jazz.
But they're free.
Well, free plus shipping. Yeah. So
free plus shipping.
I mean,
I got to go see what the shipping is now.
It's $9.95. So
yeah, you ain't making more than $1 or $2 on that if you're making anything.
Yeah, and then overseas, I don't even upcharge for overseas right now. So we lose about $10-15 if someone orders overseas. So,
really, folks, I got some international people. Folks, get the book. You're gonna make money just on the shipping. I'm serious. It's $40-50 to ship a book.
Dude, I've noticed we sent a few packages to Middle East lately, and I was like, oh, geez, wow.
Yeah. Folks, I can tell you without fear of contradiction and with perfect certainty that by finding your own zone of genius literally improves your overall attitude, right? Mm-hmm. About life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just being able to get excited again about going into your office. Why? Well, because someone figured out exactly where your zone of genius is. And when you live in that zone, life improves. Your mood improves. Your attitude improves. Your altitude improves. Like everything improves. If you guys want to get that going, dude, go get that book. You can read and do it yourself. If you don't know how to do that shit, though, well, then go to MikeZeller.com. Or when you drop on social media, I see you dropping a lot of nuggets, a lot of tips. Mm-hmm. At the Mike Zeller, the TheMikeZeller.com, MikeZeller.com. Why is this thing got a Forbes magazine cover?
It's my PR agent put it on. Like, obviously, I wasn't on Forbes cover yet, so that's a little misleading, but I was featured in Forbes. So,
PR, what do you think of that? Is that a good idea? Not a good idea?
It's overall, it's a good idea. And, but you got to choose where you want to get featured, how you want to get featured. Is it TV? Is it radio? Is it podcast? Is it, publications? Overall, it's building your brand and your authority, right? You got to have, in sales, you got to have authority. You got to be respected. People respect doctors. If you have a health condition, you go in and talk to a doctor because they're the authority. And you want, in any time you're building your brand, what's my next level of authority? What's my next level of celebrity and perception of that? And most of us, like, we got to promote ourselves. You're better than I am. I love to think and create, but you're better than me at promoting. You love, that's your game. Grant Cardone, great at promoting himself. Tony Robbins, great at promoting himself. To build a great business, Walt Disney was also great at promoting himself. He had no qualms about it. He had to get comfortable with that. And for my next evolution, I know I got to get kick ass at promoting myself and be comfortable with it.
So how can the Bomb Squad help you?
I think exposure to other amazing people, other people that want to figure out, like, how do I build a dream team in my business? How do I find my genius? I think I want to look at who else wants this challenge solved, of making that next leap up in my organizational identity, my personal identity. So I want to connect with other amazing people like you. I want to solve other people's challenges, help solve other people's challenges on finding their genius and having a more fulfilling life, because the work you and I do, the work that anyone does on finding their genius, it can have ripple effects for the next 3, 4, or 5 decades. Even 100%. Like, I know my daughter's genius. My daughter's 8 months old. I know certain things about her that the normal human being doesn't know because I'm paying attention to these clues. I see the world from a different perspective.
Folks, if you guys want to help this individual, share this out to everybody you know. Tag people in it that you think could benefit. And as always, until next time, keep that shit real.
Dropping bombs with the real Bradley. Subscribe now.